The chair now recognizes the gentlelady from Washington.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Over 50% of all transit riders in the U.S. travel on buses, but only 10% of our transit funding actually goes to buses. I'll say that again. Over half of the people in this country who use public transportation take buses to get to work, to the grocery store, to visit family. Yet the federal government dedicates less than 10% of its transit funds specifically to buses and bus facilities. We're selling communities short, communities like my home in Southwest Washington, but we have an opportunity to rectify the situation, Mr. Speaker. While overall transit funding has been steadily increasing, this bill funds buses at 2016 at roughly half of 2012 levels. That is, Mr. Speaker, unless you happen to represent one of 7 states for whom this bill sets aside roughly an additional $272 million a year. While all 50 states can compete for funds through the nationwide competitive bus grant program, which is funded at $90 million in 2016 and $200 million each year after, a select few northeastern states get an additional $272 million pot to draw from. That's right, Mr. Chairman, these high-density states, Maryland, Massachusetts, Delaware, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Delaware have a special set-aside pot of money for them that averages $90 million or more a year. Then the nation, it's $90 million more than the nationwide pot that all 50 states compete from. So, and those 7 states still get to compete from the nationwide pot. It's an issue of fairness, Mr. Speaker. The idea that 7 states have available to them more money than all 50 states combined isn't fair to the communities in my state or yours, or in the other 43 states. My amendment would simply move the funding from the 7-state set-aside program into the competitive bus program and allow all states to compete for these much-needed resources. I urge my colleagues to support the amendment, and I reserve the balance of my time.